you struggle with loneliness? You're not alone. Loneliness is by far the number one issue that all widowed people want to overcome. And in order to overcome it, you need to understand it first. We've all been there. We get into bed at the end of the day and realize that we haven't spoken a word out loud to anyone since the day before. The biggest concern that widowed people always bring up is that feeling of being isolated and utterly alone. But did you know that there are actually different types of loneliness? Psychologists identify 4 distinct types of loneliness: social, situational, emotional, and chronic. And chronic is what you want to avoid like the plague. Of course, you could be experiencing all of these, but in order to tackle your loneliness, you need to understand which types of loneliness you're experiencing the most. So let's go over them. Social loneliness refers to your close group of friends, your inner circle. You may experience social loneliness because you don't feel fully understood or seen by those who are closest to you. And you may have experienced this when your friends or your family members suggest that your partner is in a better place now, or that they know how you feel because their mother or their dog just died, or when they suggest that maybe it's, time for you to move on. Situational loneliness refers to the broader group of people that you interact with in more public places like coworkers, neighbors, and casual acquaintances. You may have experienced this when you see couples together and think, that should be us. And this is when even a trip to the grocery store can hold the potential for a meltdown when you start thinking about your partner's favorite foods, and then all of those other memories come back and you go down that rabbit hole of, we'll never be able to do that again. Emotional loneliness is the result of extreme life changes, such as the death of your partner. And you know this one. This is what we widowed people experience. It's that deep, overwhelming feeling of sadness and distress, devastation and disbelief. It causes you to feel anxious, insecure, and hopeless. Those who are emotionally lonely will find it difficult to improve things without tackling the root of the problem. That means you need to really look inward and acknowledge and process all of the difficult and often conflicting feelings that you're experiencing. If you don't, you risk developing this next type of loneliness, chronic loneliness. This is the term that's used to describe those who have been deeply lonely for so long that it becomes a way of life to them. You lose all hope for any kind of a future that's worth living. And this is absolutely what you want to avoid at all costs. Because when sadness and the solitude and grief become a part of your nature, it is hard to break out of that cycle. And it may surprise you to hear that there are in fact many widowed people who do become stuck in that chronic state of loneliness. That loneliness that you're feeling right now, imagine feeling that way for another 2 years or 5 years or even more. That's a hell that no one deserves. So take a few minutes now to think about what type of loneliness you're experiencing. And are you at risk of slipping into that chronic stage? Understanding the problem is the first step in finding a solution. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll be addressing solutions to the loneliness problems in my other Widow Wisdom clips, so be sure to opt in so you don't miss any of them. Just click the button below. And in case we haven't met yet, I'm Lydia from Widow to Widow Coaching, and I'm here, one widow to another, with a simple and super important message that your life can be good again. So don't forget to opt in and get access to loads more information on how you can survive your widowhood and start really living again. And please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my Widow Wisdom channel. And thanks again for joining me. I'll see you next time.